Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on the Hagenstedt map. Let's get back to reliving the glory days. I'm getting that same kind of vibe that I got in with the release of FS17. You know, there seems to be a lot there. There's a lot of new things coming out. You've got to remember, in FS17, when that came out, that's when they introduced pigs, wasn't it? You know, with Goldcrest Valley. And what else did we get? We had pigs. We had some new crops. I can't remember. The forestry was released in 17, but the forestry was quite improved. There was a lot of improvement done for the release of 17. I can't remember now what else was released with 17, but anyway, it was a nice release. I did like that one. I'm just going to this one right here. There's a little tiny bit that has been missed over there, which quite frankly doesn't matter, but I'm going to go and get it anyway. And there, just run over that bit. Sure if there's going to be anything down the other end, but I'm not going to worry about it for a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a pass along the top right here, and then when I get over to that corner over there, I'm going to start sending the stuff up and down in the other direction. So let's get right over to there like that, and then we can back out round and start whizzing up and down there. Right. Back we go. Over here. And away. Right. That one can go running up through there and do that field. We will go back to this one right here. Keep doing some baling. So, the thing that I've seen at the moment that I'd say appeals to me most... Okay, I didn't actually mean to do that. The thing that appeals to me most that I've seen so far with the FS22 is the grapes. Grapes and olives. It's a new crop. It's got a new harvesting technique to be able to do it. So, it's not like the addition of oats... soybeans. That was the 17 one, wasn't it? It's not like the addition of the soybeans or oats or anything like that, because there's literally just another crop with the combine. There's nothing special about that. Oats, yeah, it was another one with straw, which was a nice change, because the other, you know, none of the other crops have got straw. I would love to see the option to leave a windrow behind with beans, with corn, with all crops. I would like to see the option to leave a windrow behind with all crops. And then the ones that aren't standard straw, such as the, you know, like wheat, barley, oats, we got the standard straw off of those. But the other ones, such as the beans, the oilseed, the canola, the let's say corn, canola, beans, all of that kind of crop, I would like to see on those, you know, the option to leave windrows behind so that we can bale it up. But when you go and bale it, it doesn't actually turn into bales of straw. It would turn into a new type of bale, which would be something that could be taken off to the biogas plant. You can't use it for bedding and you can't use it for feed. But you can take those bales to the biogas plant and you can sell them there as biogas, well, as something to be turned into biogas. That's something I'd like to see, but we've seen all of the icons that are in the game, so we know that that's not going to come about at the moment. However, we do have confirmed bales of wood chips. I think it was square and round bales of wood chips. So it looks like they're just expanding out on that a little bit. That one was introduced in the Anderson Group DLC. So there's a few new things that might be able to come up. And then we've got DLCs that could be released. So we may still see something like that. But I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. It's something that I would like to see, though. That is something that I would like to see introduced into the game. I think that could be really cool, especially, you know, you go and do a crop of canola, and then you have the option to go along afterwards if you want to, bale up the stuff that you leave behind, and I think you can have two options. You can leave it as a windrow, and you can go and bale it up, and then you can take it off to the biogas plant, and you can sell it there. Or you chop it and spread it on the field, and that counts as a layer of fertilizer. That would be a really good game mechanic, I think. That's something that could be incorporated into the gameplay and be reasonably realistic as well. I mean, I don't know if biogas plant goes and buys that kind of material or not, but, you know, I feel that that should at least be something that could be considered as an option. Anyway, never mind any of that. The stuff that we do actually have is the grapes and olives, and that's a new type of crop with a new type of harvesting equipment, new ways of doing things. Now, I would assume that the French map would even start you out with a little bit of that. I don't know. And that's why I'm picking the French map to go with the time-lapse, because obviously the time-lapse is where I tend to do jobs that I think could end up being quite slow and take a while to do, and it's sort of seems to be the ideal opportunity to really explore it. I will explore it on the other ones as well. If I'm doing a play-around one on the US map, then that would also be pretty good for setting up a couple of fields of that. And I've no doubt by the time we get a few episodes into a series, there'll be some mods coming out for alterations to grape and olive harvesters, which means I'm pretty certain that old Stevie is going to be old. Maybe I should say young. I don't know. He might get upset if I refer to him as old and he ever finds out. If young Stevie is going to be working his magic with all of the different tools and utensils and everything that we have in the game, then it's very likely that we would have grape harvester, olive harvester available that can have larger capacity, can go faster, stuff like that. So if we're doing a play around series, we can have acres and acres and acres, hectares, square miles of olives and grapes, and we can have our harvesters whizzing up and down those fields at breakneck speeds, harvesting all kinds of stuff. It's gonna look awesome. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I think that's something that could be quite entertaining to go and do. And then we're also going to have the sorghum, although I don't think that one leaves behind any straw on the ground. So I don't believe it does. I think that's a bit more like beans. I've never seen sorghum growing in a field before. I've no idea what it's like. I've no idea what's involved with harvesting and stuff. So that one to me is pure guesswork. I have absolutely no idea what's involved. I'm going to assume, I know you shouldn't assume, but I'm going to assume that sorghum is basically just pretty much like beans. I know it's not beans, right? I'm not making that assumption. I'm assuming that the crop will be similar to beans. It won't have a particularly high yield, so it'll be fairly well paying per ton that we get, and there'll be no straw left behind either. So that's going to be my assumption on that one. Right, I want to stop that one right there. I want to dump out the bale that I've got left, like that. I want to fold this one up, and then I'm going to just take this one over to here. Now, the other thing that I am going to do, so I'm going to go to this one. Yes, admittedly, we kind of want the other tractor, but I got the baler over here. I really want the one with the yellow wheels on there, don't I? Alright, this one can stay here. We won't use the maroon tractor at the moment. As I had people specifically requesting that we have the maroon, the yellow wheels on the seed drill. So this one, I'm gonna do that. this one, I'm going to leave that one there like that. I'm going to drive... As I'm going back to the yard, I could take that one with me. We'll take this one with me for now. I'm heading back to the yard, and because I want the baler. I'm going to need to pick up the baler, so I was going to pick the baler up with this one, but now I'm actually thinking I'm also going to need the new rake that we want to buy, and so I could bring the new rake back with this one, and we'll just leave the baler where it is for a minute, and we'll get the other tractor, and we'll put the other tractor on the other seed drill and just get that one started and not worry about the any of the other bits. That might be a better way of doing it. Alright, let's bring you on round here. We're going to shortcut across the field. You can do that when you're in the middle of harvest. I know this for a fact. I've done it myself many, many times. Yeah, see, I shortcutted all the way across the field. And you didn't even have to see it being driven across the field. How lucky are you? I'm going to bring that one all the way around here like this. He's got one more pass to go and do. The delicate ballet, we will whiz in around like that. And I'll stop there a second. And then I want to go here. Are you? Yes, okay, you'll easily cover that. That's fine. So we'll go to this one. Actually, despite the fact that I do want to go and put this one onto a seed drill, I don't actually want to start it drilling yet, because I'm going to use this one to do the big field. Which means I need to move the stuff out of the way of the big field before I get started on the big field. So we want to come over here, and we want to get the seed drill, and then we can move out to the big field, but then we've got to very quickly clear all of the straw off of said field. And then once we've cleared the straw out of the way, excuse me, and we've also gone and moved the grain trailers that are right there, then we can start doing some work on the field with this one. So I'm going to bring you over to there. I'm just going to stop there for a second, and then I'm going to go to this one. Helper F has completed their task. Yes, well, we expected that. That was going to be happening. Right, I'm going to drive around this field at breakneck speeds, and I am going to pick up as many bales as I can. Like this. And we'll run over here and we'll get these two. And how close have we got to get to the bales to actually pick them up? I think it's too bad, really. If I go right between the middle of them, am I going to miss them? Okay, I missed one. So we get a rough idea of how close we got to get. I want to pick up as many of these bales as I can. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay. I really like that. I really like being able to do that. I was thinking I might just dump the bales for now on the edge of the field, and then go back and clear the rest of the fields. And then once we've cleared everything, let's whiz around here. Like that. And back once more. There we have it. Once we've cleared everything, so I'm just going to go and take these. I'm going to go and dump them over on the track over there. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to pick up some more. Then I'm going to jump back onto the seed drill. And I'm going to start planting this field. Once we've done the planting, or got started on the planting, then we can do something with this one. So I press Y once to start the unloading process. I bring it out over here. I press Y again to dump them, and then I press Y a third time to go back to the transport and load options. I don't know why I have to do it a third time. I don't understand what the programming is in there. There's programming somewhere inside that is meaning that we have to do that. And then we press B, and that one starts the loading process again, like that. There, so we're going to go whizzing off around the field once more, and I'm going to gather up the rest of the bales, which is only a little part trailer load. And that's all of the bales gathered from this harvest. Then we get to do it all again pretty soon, because we've got another crop with straw on the ground, so we'll have one more lot of baling to do, which is not a bad thing. Well, it might be a bad thing from your point of view, but from my point of view, it's not a bad thing, because I actually really like doing baling. It's one of my more favoritist tasks. And I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to load the lorry completely. Boom, 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 like that. Fantastic. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate unloading mode, unload right there, and then switch off unloading mode, and then I'm going to put straps on there, and... Wait a minute. There's one more thing I need to do. I'm going to unhitch that trailer, and I'm going to leave it right there. And then we're going to go back, and we're going to get the grain now. And I'm going to move those trailers out of the way, which leaves this field open. Now, the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to run a little bit of an experiment with our seed drill over there. I'm going to start the hired help working on one side of this field, and I'm just going to leave it go. I'm not going to do anything to interfere with it. I'm just going to let it keep going until it's finished the entire field. Or it tells me it's finished. It might end up getting to a point in the field where it can't go any further, and then it's going to decide, you know what, that's it, I can't do any more. But we won't find out if it's got any strange issues unless we just trust the hired help to mess things up on its own rather than us helping it mess things up. You see where I'm getting? You see where I'm coming from? What I'm getting at? Where I'm heading for? We want to go... We'll deal with you in a minute. We can go with this one. And we're going to start over on this side. And I'm just going to press H, and I'm going to leave it go. I'm not going to do anything to help it. I'm not going around the edges. I'm not going to do anything on the ends. I'm just going to trust that it can mess things up all on its own. Off you go. Plant me some oats. It didn't even start at the end of the field there. It's already screwed something up. But I'm quite happy with that. So you carry on there and do that bit. And then, no, I don't want you. You're the next one that I want. And we're going to head up to the top field up here. And I'm pretty much going to do what I just did with the tractor down the bottom. Except this time I am going to do one pass along the top end. I think... it will actually get right to the end of the field without us needing to do anything, but it's a really, really narrow field, so we're not going to worry about that. So what we will worry about instead is just a quick, simple pass along this end of the field, and then I'll start it working from the left-hand side there. So let's unfold. Bring you up. Round like this. There we go. And we'll go like that. Right. Start planting. All the way along here, and then I'll head up the left-hand side of the field, and then this bit we don't need to worry about. So we've got 2 fields that are now being planted. So then I want to go and get the new rake that we're going to do. So we want to take the rake that we've got, that's got to be sold, and then we want to buy the new one and get that one started. I've still got the bales to move up. We'll do that in a bit. I'm not actually going to worry about that just now, so you can carry on there. I'm just going to hope that you can do all right. It's quite a big area there that it's leaving on that corner, but that's because of the road. That's fine. We'll let it carry on. We'll see what it's. We'll see how it plays out. So this one here, buying the new rake will just drop the rake right where we are. So if I go into here a second and we go to the garage and then we go all the way through that one, 19,000. I probably get what, 2,000-3,000 more. I can't be bothered to drive all the way over to the shop for an extra 3,000. So I'm just going to sell it right there. Yes, I'm very lazy. It's a burden I've learned to live with, so it's something that you need to accept as well. And I was going to say, where's my Krone Swadro gone? This is the one that I want. I want to test this one out. Wheel setup, it doesn't do anything different. Michelin, Trelleborg, wheel setup there makes no difference at all. The Michelin one is lower to the ground, interestingly. Is that going to make a difference to the performance of the rake? I'm going to go with the Michelin option here. I am also going to speed this rake up to maximum capacity at 25k. Design, standard, or... What are we designing? Standard. Nothing at all. Design 1 has that down at the back. Design 3 doesn't have anything. Let's just go with standard, because I don't know what else to do with that. Strobe lights. Oh, that's the road flashy things. All right, we'll go for road flashy things. Buy. 75,190. There we go. Plus a delivery charge of 1,879. I wish it wouldn't overlap the two costs. It's frustrating that it does that. Okay, so let's bring you out over here, and we will hook you onto this tractor. In theory, you should be able to be pulled by the stayer as well as this one here. But we'll do it with this one. We're going to go up to the big... This is what I used to use. Pretty sure that this rake was available in FS13. If it wasn't, then it was a rake that was nearly as big as this. But I'm pretty sure it was this one. Sure, we could use the Krone Swadro in that. You know, I genuinely don't know. I really cannot remember at the moment whether or not we could use the Krone Swadro in the last version of the game or not. And it's slightly irritating that I can't remember that. And not the last version of the game, in FS13 version of the game. I do want to just go... I don't want to check you. I want to check this one and see how he's doing. We've got one more bit up there to do. And then he's going longer on the field. So we may end up leaving a long slice. We may not. We'll find out in a minute. Let's go back to this one and take it up to the rail fields. Now, I'm going to manually do the rail field in its entirety, I would think, considering how wide a slice we take with this thing anyway. The great thing about this is because the back wheels turn, it doesn't sort of swing it round quite so violently. So if you turn the corner... Oh, okay, maybe it does. If you turn the corner with it while you're bombing along the road, it doesn't seem to throw it out quite so far. But, I mean, maybe it does a little bit. So I want to bring you out like that. And then bring you out like that. Look at that thing. Isn't that just an absolutely beautiful looking toy? Let's take it on up here a bit, and we'll start it from there. There's only going to be like 4 passes on this field to do it. Yeah, this one here is what I want to see. Oh! Okay, he's come up to this point to turn around and go back again, which means that we got quite a big slice on the field here that isn't done, which makes me think that in order to do this properly, we need to start over in that corner. I mean, I did say that before, but that was after we did once around the edge of the field. But it looks like we need to start in that corner rather than that corner. So we'll do that next time we plant. We'll start over in that corner, and we'll see how it works out for us. So yeah, we've got a big strip over there that we're going to have to manually clean up. That's fine. It's all part of the learning process. And we want to go to you. So I want to start that one up. And we'll lower it down. Let's see how well the Krone Swadro performs. It leaves a nice big windrow, which is good. And the reason we don't always want a huge, great big windrow like this is because we can't get over it with what we're using. But our current baler, it's going to have no problem at all consuming this lot. And around we go, and because, there, going around sharp, I remember now with the Krone Swadro going around sharp corners, it does tend to leave little bits out on the corners, which is not ideal. But generally speaking, it does gather it all up like it's done just there. So, for the most part, you don't seem to have very many problems with it. And I'm actually thinking that maybe we should do once around the outside edges of the fields, and then go around with the baler, and then we go and clean it all up afterwards. So I want to bring you over here. Now this is going to be the tricky bit, except that we did that just fine. It went round that corner without any problems. How do we get round this corner? Because although it does turn the wheels a bit, it doesn't go right out to the corners when you want it to. So if I bring you over to here and then I lift and stop, if we just leave that as it is and we go bouncing along, we are actually going to have to fold this one up in order to be able to move to the next field. We'll do once round. I did say previously that I wasn't going to do that and I was going to manually do the field, so probably better off manually doing that field at least, because I don't think that the hired help is going to cope with it. But still. We'll once round the edge of this one as well, and then we'll get the baler in and just clear a bit of it out of the way. So now I can start unfolding this one again, and this one here, I'm actually going to start back here. I know it's going to throw the hay right back out behind us, but I'm fine with that. A little bit of a mess, but we'll go along and clean that up with the baler, so everything will be tickety-boo. And off we go. So it's a little bit more uneven right here, and the rake is cleaning it up really, really nicely. I like how well the... Okay. I was about to say I like how well this is happening, but there it really messed up, didn't it? And this is a big tractor as well. Okay, so we have just identified our first problem with the rake. It didn't like that, and we can see immediately what the problem was. It was the lie of the land right here. Now, was that because I've got the smaller wheels on? I don't think the smaller wheels helped this in the slightest. It's where we've got a dip. That dip in there, that's what caused the problem. See right there? It goes the other way without any problem at all, but it really doesn't like that dip. It's immediately trying to pull it out, twist things round. The wheels in the middle are completely off the ground. Doesn't like that at all. Okay, that's interesting to note. We might take this one back to the main yard after doing this and put the slightly thicker wheels on. And then, actually, we don't need to take it back to the main yard, do we? I've got a toolbox I installed up here, didn't I? I think I did. If I haven't, then I should do. So we can change the wheels over, and we'll do another pass. Just we'll bring it back over, and we'll test it on there. Because there's a couple of other slightly uneven... Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.